interested in simple steps to heal the root cause of your health issues, whether it's anxiety, depression, insomnia, weight gain, hormonal issues, digestive issues, or any difficult to treat condition, welcome to Heal Your Body, Cure Your Mind, where you'll get most of the answers for your health concerns and benefit from the latest techniques in naturopathic medicine, functional medicine, and psychotherapy to heal your mind and body together. As a naturopathic doctor, psychotherapist, and best-selling author, I've also created a free ebook and online course for you at drameet.com. That's drameet.com, where you'll get tons of tips to heal your mind, your body, your emotions, your gut, your liver, inflammation, and other things that go wrong in your body. Without further ado, with lots of love to your beautiful heart, here's your podcast for this week.
Hello, health heroes, and welcome to another session of the Forget Weight Loss Forever Project. I am your host, Dr. Rudy Miller, and you are here learning from the experts, and we are guiding you through the steps to find the underlying causes to your health and weight loss struggles and teaching you how to implement solutions that help you get real results. I am truly excited to speak with this next doctor, as I have had the opportunity and been fortunate enough to get to know him. He demonstrates a wonderful, kind-hearted personality, and I can see what makes him such a great doctor. He is caring and he is compassionate. He has been a catalyst for bringing integrated healthcare to underserved populations across Africa. He is a naturopathic physician as well as a psychotherapist who specializes in helping people address what I think is the most important foundational piece of health: your mindset. And he is coming all the way to us from Kenya. Dr. Ameet Aggarwal can be found at www.drameet.com, D-R-A-M as in Mary, E-E-T.com. Dr. Ameet, thank you for taking the time today.
Thanks, Rudy. It's a pleasure speaking with you. I didn't expect that intro. I'm very touched and happy to be available to all your listeners out there, because I know you're doing an amazing job as well, just helping people struggle with emotional issues around many things in their life.
Well, as I indicated, I think that really is the foundation. I would like to hear a little bit more about what got you into becoming a naturopath and a psychotherapist, and then a little bit about how you tie the two together to help people connect emotions with things like weight loss.
So in Africa, we have a lot of underserved communities as well, and it gets just a lot of antibiotics and antimalarials for everything. And sometimes they need a bit of a more holistic approach. And I found that naturopathic doctors are well trained in medicine, fully trained in medicine, and we add holistic methods. Mm-hmm. And in my work, I notice a lot of people go for emotional counseling for anxiety or depression, but they don't necessarily heal their bodies holistically, right? And other people, they're focused on supplements or medications, and they don't know how to release trauma or belief systems that keep them stuck in negative mindsets, anxiety or depression. So I actually ended up studying both fields, psychotherapy and naturopathic medicine, to help people combine the two approaches so that they can actually feel better for longer. You know what I mean? Like heal belief systems and trauma, and also correct neurotransmitters in their body and in their brains, because both are necessary for emotional well-being.
I think you're mentioning here with the naturopathic medicine, that's addressing some of the underlying issues at hand, like adrenal fatigue, hormonal disruptions, food sensitivities, sustained inflammation, etc. But the psychotherapy piece added into that naturopathic education, looking at the body in that holistic manner, is really getting to the root causes and really to the foundation of where people need to be and need to, I'm going to say work on, but to really reach their health goals. And so, I think that's a very important piece, and I think it's a great complementary aspect that you have and are unique in being able to deliver.
Thank you, Trudy. I fully agree, right? Like a lot of people, when they recover from emotional trauma, their health gets better, they get more energy, they're out of adrenal stress, and they're more motivated then to take the steps either to lose weight or to just take care of their health, right? Mm-hmm. So I believe emotional healing is fundamental to physical health.
So I think a lot of people on this call right now, including myself, when we're at the cusp of making these types of changes that we'll probably talk about here really soon, one of the things that may block a person is their belief that they're the only one that's in this situation. And therefore, they don't share those negative thoughts with other people. They just kind of hold them deep inside. So can you just talk to me a little bit about what some of these listeners can recognize, that they're not alone in this journey, that they're not the only ones that are dealing with this?
Sure, Trudy. So many people come to me for weight loss issues or self-esteem issues. Obviously, they're struggling with self-image, a lot of them, right? And some of the thoughts that they share with me is, and it's really hurtful to hear some of these thoughts, right? I'll never be beautiful. And some people think people don't like me because of the way I look. A lot of people just don't feel good enough. A lot of overweight people as well, they just think, gosh, I've tried everything and I just can't lose weight, right? And people look at me that way. And other people literally say to me, you know, it's safer for me to hang around fat people, right? Because I'll be more accepted. Or I won't get a job because of the way I look, or who will marry me? You know, no one will want to be with me. I'm not acceptable to any man or woman. So these are very difficult emotions to go through, right? And what it does is, see, these negative emotions, or just strong beliefs, I would say, actually stress the body more. And what that does is it just exhausts people, their adrenal system, their metabolism, their motivation. It just depresses it. And so they just crash, right, into hopelessness, depression, self-sabotage. And to the point, some people even say, what's the point of trying anyways? Because it starts with these stressful, negative beliefs they have about themselves. And I'm not criticizing the listeners, it's just supporting you to realize that there's other ways out of this mindset, right? Take care of your mind so that your body can get more motivation and recover from these health issues.
Yeah, it's almost that people put up like a facade where they're trying to block from people entering into their life and possibly invoking some of the motivation to change. And really that facade or that block, that barrier, is this perpetual self-talk, this perpetual thinking that drives them further and further down that slippery slope.
It's exhausting, right? And the difficult part of this, sometimes it's self-fulfilling, right? When these thoughts come up, they actually create a stress response. So the adrenal system fires up and it burns out. And a lot of people with weight issues have an adrenal imbalance sometimes, yeah?
Right.
And with negative thoughts, you actually exhaust your adrenal system even more. And when your adrenal glands are burnt out, you put on weight more, right? You have difficulty shedding weight because your metabolism crashes.
And so, I mean, yes, adrenal fatigue is a cause, but one of the underlying issues that causes the adrenal fatigue is this self-talk.
Exactly.
Right, okay. And so these people may have these emotional blocks or these beliefs that actually prevent them from losing weight and feeling good about themselves. Can you just talk to me a little bit about maybe some examples that you've seen in practice so that people can understand a little bit more?
Yeah, you bring an amazing question, Rudy, because, you know, people who come to me, some of them realize when they come for counseling and weight loss or either or, they come to realize that sometimes they're holding on to their weight as a protection mechanism, right? For example, I have a couple of clients who came to me. They were sexually abused as children. And while we were doing counseling, they discovered that, hey, it's too vulnerable to look sexy again, right? Because that means I'm open to assault. And the weight was a comfort zone, right? It was a protection to keep people away.
I see.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm simplifying things, but this was the general feeling. Another client of mine really felt unsafe exercising because she thought, my God, somebody will see my body move. Right? And when they see my body move, it'll be attractive to them and they'll come for me. So it was safer for her to actually stay still, right, out of fear and not being seen. Can you imagine living like that?
No, I can't. Yeah, it was deep.
It was exhausting.
Right.
Very deep-rooted fear, right? Then I had another client, actually. She felt bad for her sister. Her sister was overweight and not loved, and she felt guilty about looking better than her sister, right? So it's a two-way dynamic sometimes. There's impact on, like, you know what I mean? We create belief systems based on those around us as well, and that can impact the way we lose weight or look after ourselves or how we feel about ourselves or how willing we are, to take care of ourselves. Because becoming healthier or looking better might have some consequences that we don't feel safe about.
I see the aspect of husband and wife relationships or sibling relationships where one seems to be blocked from reaching their health goals because of the partner in their life or because of their family. But some of these other things that you speak of, some trauma that's deep rooted from earlier years that blocks people from really even, they know what they need, but they're not able to pursue it because of protection mechanism. And that is profound. That's profound to recognize something like that as being that main block or barrier to you achieving that goal.
It is, right? And it's very helpful when the person actually recognizes or comes to terms with this belief system that they're struggling against, right? So, for example, these people who are trying to lose weight with detox systems or diets and all that, and it's just so difficult, right? There's a part of them that actually sabotages themselves, and they feel worse about themselves. However, when you come to terms and accept, hey, you know what? It's safer for me to be like this, or I needed this at that time when I was young, or I'm coping with an emotional trauma from my past, and it's okay that I'm using it to cope, and it's safe now to maybe deal with it or let it go, then by dealing with these belief systems, there's more of a chance of becoming healthier.
Because you're recognizing where you are right now and currently what you're dealing with.
Exactly. And that's self-acceptance.
Okay. And so what are some of these strategies that you would help your patients or clients deal with to be able to deal with this underlying issue at hand, to be able to gain acceptance of themselves? I feel like we always hear about you have to change your thoughts to be more positive. And yes, I believe that to be true in hand, but it sounds to me like we're talking about accepting where you are as being the first step. And I think that that's a profound message to be delivered.
You know, acceptance gives motivation and it gives love, right? So you're right. The first place is acceptance. So instead of judging these feelings and saying, okay, I'm not good enough because I can't even be positive about myself, you know, that's re-traumatizing. Right,
of course.
And the media and all that stuff put so much pressure on us to feel good again.
Yeah, through photoshopped pictures and constantly getting the next best weight loss plan that's only devised towards detoxing or addressing more exercise and less food, right?
Exactly, right? Or even making sure that you're positive, you're thinking positive. So the moment you have a negative thought, you're so scared of it, right? It's almost like you're against yourself. You have negative thoughts against your own thoughts. So it's just exhaustive. So what I do is a special exercise that I created. I just say giving oneself permission to heal. Yeah. And what I get the client to say is, it's safe for me to feel this way once in a while. I always add once in a while, and I'll explain that later, yeah? Or it's safe for me to be this way once in a while. And as we're using these specific sentences for certain emotions, yeah, for example, it's safe for me to feel vulnerable once in a while, I'll also get them to hold certain acupressure points because it just makes it more effective, similar to emotional freedom technique. And so we go through certain sentences, and it actually calms the system down. It just brings them to a sense of normalcy.
And are there any acupressure points? I guess I would like to have the listeners and myself, I'm going to go through this and be able to have some actionable content with this. So what are some of the statements that you'd have people go through, and what types of acupressure points would they be touching to help them get through this?
So let's go through an exercise, yeah? Okay. I think the listeners can also do this. Just sit in a comfortable position, and what we'll do is we'll do a simple acupressure technique. So bring one of your palms across your forehead, and the other palm, bring it behind your head, yeah?
My hands are cold.
Well, they'll warm up with your head, hopefully.
I hope so, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so imagine yourself that you're holding your head in the front and the back, yeah, in a loving way. Good. And just relax your breathing. And I'm going to walk you through certain sentences. Some of these sentences will create a healing response, and some of them will not resonate. Yeah, and just drop those. It doesn't have to resonate. With the ones that you feel an emotional response, feeling a change, then just sit with those changes, those feelings, those thoughts that come up, and continue breathing deeply. Good. So hopefully you're comfortable, and we'll start. Deep breath in and out. You can say this to yourself loudly or whisper it. It's safe for me to feel this way sometimes. And just breathe. And say it again. It's safe for me to feel this way sometimes. Good. It's safe for me to have these thoughts once in a while. And just breathe. Give permission for all your present thoughts to exist, both positive and what we so-called label as negative. Good. It's safe for me to have these thoughts once in a while. Excellent. Next sentence. Calm your breath and continue. It's safe for me to be anxious about myself once in a while. Excellent. Yeah? And just deep breathe again. It's safe for me to be anxious about myself once in a while. It might fit, it might not. You don't have to force yourself in any way. Just take what's useful from this exercise. Next sentence. It's safe for me to relax once in a while. Good. Take your time here. You don't have to force yourself to relax. Just experience the once in a while. The once in a while is important. So it might not happen. The relaxation might not happen, and that's okay. That's the other part of once in a while. It's safe for me to relax once in a while. Good. Take your time here. It's safe for me to be okay with myself once in a while. And just breathe. It's safe for me to breathe again sometimes. And it's safe for me to give myself permission to get better once in a while. And just swim with the words, the feelings, sensations, whatever comes up. And for those who are struggling sometimes, it's safe for me to be troubled once in a while and recover once in a while. That again. It's safe for me to be troubled once in a while and recover once in a while. The next sentence is about self-image and giving yourself permission to feel good and even maybe sexy sometimes, yeah? So it's pretty simple. It's safe for me to feel sexy with myself once in a while, sometimes, or even always, once in a while. I give myself permission to love myself once in a while, like this sexy person. It's safe for me to give myself this permission once in a while. Good. It's safe for me to leave the habits of my parents once in a while. So this is about belonging to a tribe, yes? You might get stuck in the sense that you have to belong to the way your family is doing things. That's the primitive part of our brain saying we have to follow the group. So now I'd like you to really harness your own willpower and just say, it's safe for me to leave the habits of my parents and my family once in a while for the highest good of myself and all concerned. Just a couple of more before we come to a close. It's safe for me to forgive myself once in a while. And just breathe. It's safe for me to forgive myself once in a while. So if you're blaming yourself for being overweight or not good enough, it's safe for me to forgive myself once in a while. This allows some self-value to return, especially to the lower chakras of the body. And this heals the adrenal system, gives more motivation and willpower. Next one. It's safe for me to be this person once in a while, just the way I am. And it's safe for me to let go of some of the rejection I feel towards myself sometimes. And it's also safe for me to relax when people have opinions of me once in a while. Excellent. It's safe for me to feel good about myself. Again, sometimes and always, once in a while. Good. Good. Take your time. Take a deep breath in. Good. And just forgive yourself. Bring some loving thoughts. Excellent. So this is the power of the exercise, Rudy. This is what I do with clients. Of course, when I'm working with clients either online or one-to-one here in Kenya, I'll pick more specific emotions related to their issues, yeah?
I think that was a great fantastic exercise, and I definitely felt my parasympathetic system kicking in. That nice rest and digest and feeling good about oneself. And I think you covered a broad spectrum of emotions there that a lot of people deal with.
Yeah.
And it's a great exercise. I really appreciate it. Some of the things that I noticed as you went through that was, you're always starting off with, it's safe for me. It's safe for me. So just talk to me a little bit about why that's such an important component in this.
Okay. We automatically resist suggestions given to us, especially when they contradict our belief systems. And the brain, the limbic brain, the unconscious brain believes certain words we say. However, it also resists at the same time. So when you say it's safe, you're opening up a doorway to do something different. Yeah?
And not forcing yourself.
No, you're not forcing. And that's why I add once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
The once in a while, allows the not safe feeling to also exist. Yeah? Like if somebody's feeling really bad about themselves and I say it's safe to feel good always, the body will say, well, I don't want to force myself to feel good because I'm in this place of feeling really bad about myself. When you say once in a while, it opens up a doorway of, the body gets curious. Once in a while, okay, it's okay. Then I give myself permission. Yeah? Does that make sense?
No, it makes complete sense, yeah.
And then what happens is, when you repeat the sentence, the body begins to feel that once in a while permission more often. Yeah, so it gets a bigger volume of the good feeling. And suddenly the body actually gets more interested in the positive experience and then begins to let go of the stressful, or I don't want to call it negative because that's what we're working against,
Mm-hmm.
Just the stressful state, that I'm not good enough and all that. It begins to let go of some of that, and begins to trust actually the good feelings more. So it's almost like, if you walk into a dark room or if you light a candle in a dark room, the darkness absorbs the light. And that's exactly what happens in our subconscious. Our subconscious begins to take on what's more light. It's not that darkness gets thrown away or deleted somewhere or thrown out the window, right? So similarly, our negative or stressful thoughts begins to take on more light, and they just become more accepting on their own.
Wow, and what a beautiful example.
Thank you.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's these types of statements, it's safe for me to feel the stressful thought once in a while, is the cusp. It's the darkness leading into the light. I'm assuming, and please correct me if I'm wrong, the more and more we're able to incorporate these safe feelings, we will have a nice transition into possibly using more positive statements or things that really are growth mindset oriented in the more often.
Absolutely, right? Because more motivation will happen. More trust and love for the self will happen, because it's almost like you become normal again. You're away from the criticizing behavior, the criticizing self-talk. It diminishes over time because suddenly you're like, it's safe for me to feel normal again or go through these feelings. If you notice, I say both, it's safe for me to feel these positive feelings, and I'll also say it's safe for me to feel vulnerable or anxious sometimes. Yeah?
Right, you're hitting on both aspects of it. Yeah.
Both aspects have to be addressed. Both aspects have to be addressed. Because the once in a while, even of feeling negative feelings, it tells the body, okay, once in a while what I'm doing is okay. And that recognition of that it's okay is self-love. That in itself is an act of self-love.
Right. Some of the things that, at least for myself, when it comes to self-talk, before I started implementing some of these and other strategies, I realized that I wouldn't have wanted to even be a friend of myself the way that I spoke to myself. And by implementing some of the things like you've just discussed, it allowed me to be okay with that personality or that person inside of me, that talk, and allow it to shift to a more positive. So what I see you saying is, step one is to recognize when you are having these types of stressful thoughts, and then begin implementing this type of strategy. It's safe for me to feel this once in a while, because it allows you and gives you permission to feel that way, whether it's positive or perceived as stressful or negative, and then transition into the more growth mindset of getting rid of the won'ts and the can'ts and the will nots and being more present in the moment of I can do this, or I am doing this, I'm succeeding in this type of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
That's accurate. That's beautiful. Wow. Very beautifully put. Because when it's safe and you give yourself permission, there's less stress in your mind. Because sometimes when you're thinking negative thoughts, you're also battling against yourself. And you cannot be creative, or it's hard to be very loving towards yourself in a stress response. Right. So the safety reduces the amount of stress, and amount of stress reduces, you can actually be more creative. Your brain can think a bit more clearly.
Yeah, you're clearing that fight or flight response from that adrenals.
Exactly. Right. And you know what happens then? The adrenals then recover, and your metabolism improves naturally, and you're more likely to get healthy or lose weight or whatever you want to do.
A snowball effect in a positive way there. And I think thinking about this in another way is, I say that thoughts are the foundation, as I believe you think the same thing, but some of our even habits that surround some of the underlying causes that we talked about before, whether it be food or other perceived stressful events, change our physiology and change our chemistry and can result in possibly further beliefs that are quote unquote negative.
Yeah, because let's say you eat unhealthy, right? And you're just basically getting sicker and sicker. It'll perpetuate your negative beliefs. Is that what you're saying? Did I get you correctly?
Yeah, I wanted to get your opinion on that. I believe that to be very much true. It's just the thought process of what's the thought process that people have is the foundation. But if we continue to pour fuel into our system, that can perpetually put somebody into these thought process which are negative. So it's really a double-edged sword in the sense that if you're fixing the foundation, it's important, but it's also important to start to implement some of the necessary changes around getting quality ingredients, nutrients into your body. And I just wanted to see if that's something that you agree with.
100%, because basically the foods you eat, they create neurotransmitters, right? And that contributes to your emotional state and the way you talk to yourself. Yeah? Inflammation, liver health, digestive health, adrenal health, all these things, they affect cortisol levels in your body, which affects dopamine, serotonin, melatonin, and GABA, which are all brain chemicals that affect your mood. So both are necessary, right? Releasing trauma and belief systems and healing the body so that these neurotransmitters come into balance so you can have more positive thoughts.
Beautiful. Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you think that would be really important for the listeners of this to know? Anything else that you would like to add in?
A couple of things come to mind. Some people give up. Yeah, some people give up. They've tried everything and they just give up, or they feel too overwhelmed. So what I do with people is, some of the people who give up, they focus on their entire weight and say, oh my gosh, I have to lose everything. So they feel demotivated. So one advice I can give out is focus on 1 kilo at a time. Yeah, 1 or 2 kilos, and that's it. And the beauty of that is when you focus on only 1 kilo, you're likely to do steps of just getting slightly healthier. And when you get slightly healthier, your body begins to actually burn fat much easier, because either your thyroid levels improve or your adrenal glands improve. Yeah, so see a naturopathic doctor or functional medicine doctor and get your metabolism corrected. Yeah, it's about health. Don't focus on the weight, focus on the health. That's very important. Yeah, and if you feel demotivated, try doing this exercise, the permission exercise, and say, it's safe for me to try once in a while. It's safe for me to feel like this once in a while. And it's safe for me to give up once in a while and lose hope once in a while and start again sometimes. Give yourself this permission to pick yourself up. Yeah, I feel that's really important. And other people, it's hard for them to get healthy or to exercise because they don't feel motivated. Yeah, it's too uncomfortable to exercise when you're overweight. Maybe it's too much pain or it's just too much effort. So focus on metabolism, focus on health. And this is what I talk about in my book, right, is how to release trauma and heal the body at the same time. So that would be my message, my last message.
Well, I think that you bring up some fantastic points. And with this exercise, it's not only something to incorporate in the situation where you recognize that the thought is bringing you down an unhealthy pathway, but I think it could be something that a person could incorporate every morning or in the evening. When you're giving this prescription or having people go through this exercise, what's the frequency at which you have them go through these different statements?
Okay, I would say at least twice a day. I would say first thing in the morning and first thing in the evening. I mean, just before going to bed. Because in the morning when you wake up, some people, if they're anxious or they've been through trauma, they have a stress response because the body's preparing them for danger. And so sit up in bed and do this exercise. And also think about what went well for you the previous day. Yeah. Even when you're having a stress response during the day or feeling negative about yourself and you have a quiet moment, spend 5 minutes there. They say the frequency of meditation, this is like a meditation, when you do meditation more frequently during the day, it's more effective than doing a long meditation only once a day. So the more frequent you do this exercise, the more permission you're giving your brain to rewire itself, what we call neuroplasticity, right? So there's actually a permanent effect on your belief systems by doing this exercise. So I would say minimum twice a day and do it as frequently as you can remember.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ameet, for bringing such quality information. This piece in and of itself is going to be beneficial to so many individuals, and especially when they're able to just put it into their life 1 to 2 times per day. And I love that you say that it doesn't need to be this 1 hour long session of meditation, that it can be a couple minutes throughout the day to be able to start to see the change from that's really that's safe for them, that can occur once in a while. I appreciate your time, Dr. Ameet. If you want to find out more information about this wonderful doctor and you enjoyed his presentation and interview, then check him out at www.drameet.com. That's DRAMEET.com. I just want to say that I'm so thankful and appreciative of you for taking the time out of your busy day to listen to this life-changing and life-saving information. Your mindset, your outlook is the foundation to achieving everything from health to love, self-appreciation to weight loss. I encourage you to continue to add value to yourself by taking the lessons learned in this interview and begin now. As a health hero, I know the importance of beginning to the change in your life now, and I encourage you to continue to add more tools to your hero tool belt by bringing this information home with you and sharing this valuable information with your friends and your loved ones so that we all can reach our full potential. Once again, Dr. Ameet, thank you so much for coming on here, taking the time out of your day and providing such amazing, quality, actionable content that is going to help thousands and thousands of people.
Thank you, Rudy. I hope your listeners get the benefit of this, and I think the way you inspire people, I think it'll get people moving. So really thank you as well for what you're doing to a lot of people out there.
Well, we're all in this together, Dr. Ameet. You are a health hero, and so are you, the listener. I am so thankful and appreciative of you for taking the time out of your busy day to listen to this life-changing and life-saving information. Your mindset, your outlook is the foundation to achieving everything from health to love to weight loss. I encourage you to continue to take the lessons learned in this interview and begin now. As a fellow health hero, I know the importance of beginning the change in your life and doing it now. Add more tools to your hero tool belt by bringing this information home with you. Click the link beside or below and purchase this interview and share it with your friends and your loved ones so that we all can reach our full potential. This is your host, Dr. Rudy Miller, saying live happy, live healthy, and affect others positively. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening. Remember, you can go deeper in your healing with amazing remedies and therapies covered in your free online course and ebook on drameet.com. That's drameet.com. Lots of love and thank you. God bless.